What's good, you guys? Daniel Cruz here. We back, another episode of Cook with Cruz. We back in motion, breaking down some new beats. I got a real dope one I'm going to show you guys today. This one's actually a collab. This is a collab with my boy Bear on the beat, so shout out Bear on the beat. He sent me a really dope sample that he was working on along with the cadence of how he wanted the drums to be. So I took all that and did my thing to it. Came out pretty dope. Gonna break it all down for you here today. With that being said, for the most part, I am open for collabs. If you guys are interested in that, I'll leave my email address for you if you want to submit for a collab. I can't lie though, I am pretty picky. If I'm not really catching a vibe from it, I really don't want to work with it. I don't like forcing feelings and energy on a track that I'm not feeling. So if you send something, make sure it's all original, maybe something down the line of my style. If you're familiar with my videos, you already kind of know what kind of style I'm working with. But other than that, yes, I am open for collabs. I usually check all of them, all the ideas that I get sent, so feel free to send them over if you want to collab. It's all good. But anyways, let's get into this beat here and check it out. Alright, so let me start off with the sample that he sent over that he was messing around with. I'm going to play the raw file that I got here. So I definitely was already feeling that. It's kind of down my lane right there. He also sent over some drums, which I'll get into in a little bit. Kept the overall cadence. I think I switched out a little bit of the sounds, but we're going to get into that when the drop comes here. So when I came in to do my thing, the first thing I did was speed the sample up. Went from 140 to 150. Then I came into the mixer and added an effects chain to get some different sounds to it. So we got Echo Melt, one of my all-time favorite VSTs right now. Do some guitar rig, Washington preset, got it turned down a little bit, some standard reverb, and then cut out some of the highs right here on the sample. So after that, this is what our sample now sounds like. Alright, so now further developing our sample here, the next thing I wanted to add was something cinematic. So it was this audio clip right here. This is actually a preset in Omnisphere. I'm pretty sure it's called Living in Himalayas or something like that. I've used this in other beats in my other videos. I just bounced this out to audio so I can have better control of the timing and, effects and everything. So now to get some lower frequencies going, added some bass. Oscar Bass 3 here in Omnisphere. Just kept it real simple. Really just wanted to, some low frequencies going on and get some energy going. Next thing I added to give it some more depth, added this choir pad here. It's Atlantean key choir. Again, another one of my favorite sounds I use in Omnisphere. Just added some basic chords here to give it some depth. Just went from B minor to E minor, real simple. So now for like the main part of the beat that I added. I don't know if you guys can hear it through the microphone on the camera, but in the sample there's like a background, low mid frequency range melody that's going on behind that choir. I really like that melody that was sitting back there, so I tried to recreate it so I can bring it up more. So how I approached that, came into Keyscape here, LA Custom C7 Dark Score. So here's the melody that actually plays in the background if you couldn't hear it earlier. Real simple, but it's going to add a lot to this beat here. So I rendered this into audio, threw that into the mixer, and we got a whole new effects chain here. Start off with the air saturation filter, the low pass filter, broken vocal mic preset. Got our standard EQ here, did some bandpass, pan man, so it's got a cool stereo effect, some delay, And then we got some halftime gross beat that I automate in and out on certain points where I want it. So now with all those effects, our piano really doesn't sound like a piano anymore. Let's hear what it sounds like. So for the intro of the beat, when I have the sample playing, I actually halftime the melody. So here's what that sounds like with everything layered up. So that's already going crazy. And then when the beat actually starts in the beginning, I have that same exact sequence minus the sample there. Gave it like a real dark Travis Scott type of feeling here. So now for the drop of the beat here, I really let that melody that I recreated really drive the sound of the beat here. I took that half timing off, so now we got it playing back in normal time. On the drop as well, our sample is going to completely cut out. We just keep our choir pad and our Himalaya patch from Omnisphere. And then here's where the drums are going to drop here, which we'll go over now. Start off with our closed hat snare. Percussion loop. 808. That's all we needed from the drums there. We just needed that bounce. Bear on the beat really set the cadence for that. Again, I just switched out a couple sounds, added an 808. So now let's hear what our drop sounds like. So that pattern is going to repeat now for another 4 bars. After our first 8 bars of that verse there, we're going to reintroduce our sample, but we're going to reintroduce it in a new way than we originally heard it in the intro. I'm gonna give y'all one of my big techniques here that I use all the time when I'm working with, you know, certain samples. When I'm reintroducing something, I like to drop it down a whole octave or bring it up a whole octave, or sometimes I'll even double up on the sample if I want some more depth to it. I'll have one audio clip in the root octave and then another one on an octave just above that. So I definitely do that a lot. You can take that for yourself. And mind you, I only do this if it sounds good. I really don't force it if it doesn't sound good. Sometimes samples, you know, just need to stay in their root key. So, but for this, when we reintroduce the sample, I'm going to shoot it up a whole octave, and I'm also going to chop parts of it out to, again, this is a verse, so I'm trying to leave some breathing room for the artist here. So here's our new sample here. And as you can see there, I did chop some parts of it out. And because our sample is now shot up a whole octave, I felt like that frequency range was going to clash a little bit with our piano melody that we recreated. So in order to balance that out, I just do the halftime gross beat onto it again. Naturally, it's just going to shoot down in its pitch because it's halftime. So our gross beat automation is going to turn back on, as you can see here. And then also I cut out some of the drums to add some variation, and then they'll come back in. So let's hear what it all sounds like now. right after that, we're just basically gonna repeat the intro and use it as like our hook or break here for the beat. Literally just copy pasted our intro over, added a nice transition. So here's what it sounds like all together, and then going into our second verse. There goes the whole beat right there, all done. Once again, shout out to Bear on the beat for sending this over. This really came out dope. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I am open to collab ideas. My email will be in the description of the video. And again, I'm sorry, I can be really picky, but I'm a firm believer in not forcing energy and forcing ideas that I'm not feeling. So if you feel you got something down the lane of my style, feel free to send those through. I'll definitely check them out. As always, keep leaving me suggestions down below in the comment section if you do have any. Otherwise, I'm going to keep bringing you guys new beats every week that I'm going to be breaking down, showing you everything. So yeah, questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below for me. I'll 100% reply to you and get back to you. Leave a thumbs up for me on this video. If you enjoyed the video, you found some inspiration from it, learned something from it, I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed. As always, I'm going to be back next Sunday with another video for you guys. I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you next Sunday. I'm out. Peace.